Hi everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Nighttime with Nina. Today I am reading a story that was highly recommended to me by my 11-year-old, and it's called The Bad Idea Book Club Presents How to Eat an Airplane. If you want to eat an airplane, there are a few things you should know. The truth is, most airplanes are too large to eat by yourself, so if you want to eat an airplane, you should have a party. Invite guests, swoosh into the post office box. Airplane invitations are called tickets. Send one ticket to each guest. Make sure they're first class. You'll want to set the table at least an hour before the meal. Make sure that you have knives, spoons, and forklifts. Greet your guests at the gate. If someone has a carry-on bag, offer to put it somewhere away from the meal. You don't want it to be eaten by mistake. If your guests don't know one another, introduce them like this. So-and-so, this is such and such. Tonight you will be dining buddies. Hi, such and such. Hello, so-and-so. But do not say so-and-so and such unless those are their actual names. Escort your guests to the dining room and begin with a toast. Most people know the airplane toast. To friends and flight and appetite and stomachs the size of the sea. I don't know that one, but I quite like it. Guests can refill their glasses from the wings, which hold the jet fuel. Oh, gross. Don't eat jet fuel. Serve appetizers as the guests mingle. The cockpit is filled with delicious dials and tasty instruments. They tell the pilots how fast the plane is going, how high it is, and how much fuel is left. They're also crunchy. Everyone's crunching on metal dials and gears. Next, it's time to be seated. Fasten your seatbelts. The perfect first course is a warm bowl of engine oil, which will help everything go down smoothly. Everyone should tuck in their napkins in case they spill. Ew, pure green engine oil. The salad course is next. Aileron rhymes with Sailor John and comes from the French. Serve the ailerons with French dressing. Voila! So the ailerons seem to be little pieces of the wings. For the next course, it's nice to serve the landing gear. Make sure it's smooth, not bumpy. Airplane wheels are vulcanized, so cook them well before serving. You don't want them to be too rubbery. And I don't want them to be rubbery at all. Remember, it takes 45 minutes for the brakes to cool down after the landing. Give the guests oven mitts, just in case. Everybody does seem very excited to eat that landing gear, though. If a guest comes late, don't fret. Hand them a glass of jet fuel as they recite the tardiness toast. To friends and clocks and paradox, I'm usually on time. Oops! Then graciously welcome them in. Everyone will be excited for the next course, the engines. Just remember, cheering, squealing, slurping, burping, singing, strumming, and screeching are all sounds that do not belong at the table. Also, roaring. Roaring means that you may have forgotten to turn the engines off. There's our late guest getting a little slurp of engine oil in. Don't open your mouth while chewing unless a bolt or a screw gets stuck in your teeth. If this happens, make a small joke like, I thought I felt something a little screwy. Take a nice stretch in between courses, preferably on the wings. The wings of some planes are as large as a basketball court. Encourage your guests to play a couple of games to help with digestion. Here they all are, playing basketball on the wing. No game is complete without snacks. Serve the snack carts. And I guess the snacks too, if you want. Yeah, I think I'd rather have snacks than eat an airplane snack cart. Now it's time for the main course, the fuselage which rhymes with blue garage, is the largest part of the plane. Be careful climbing in. People are munching on it like cookies. She's eating it like a piece of pie. They're just chomping on the doors. This little one has a piece of the tail. Inside the fuselage is packed with all sorts of delicious treats. Scrumptious seat belts, mouth-watering windows, succulent seat cushions, and tasty tray tables. Plenty for everyone. I apologize for the dogs in the background. The lavatories are not luscious. Eat around them. And if you don't know what lavatory is, it's a fancy word for bathroom. Wise plan. Airplanes are so delicious that it's easy to forget to keep up conversation. Here are some suggestions. What's your favorite kind of landing gear? Would you like another trim tab? Or tell a joke. How did the Grizzly get to Japan? On a bear plane. LOL. After munching the tail, chomping the wings, bolting the bolts, and guzzling the grease, many of your guests will be at full capacity. Everyone should pack a suitcase full of leftovers to bring home. However, it is always polite to offer dessert. I'm really worried that they're not going to get the ice cream and instead they're going to eat the truck. Yep, perhaps an ice cream truck. Author's note, this story was inspired by Michel Lotito, who is in the Guinness World Records book for strangest diet. Because of his unusual stomach, Michel could eat almost anything. Bicycles, light bulbs, shopping carts, televisions. He ate them all by cutting them into tiny pieces. And from 1978 until 1980, he ate an entire Cessna 150 airplane. And the two things that gave him an upset stomach? Hard-boiled eggs and bananas. Oh, and there's all sorts of fun airplane facts. I'll share some of them with you. With a full load, the largest airplanes weigh over 1 million pounds. That's more than one herd of elephants. Airplanes store fuel in their wings. Some also store, and that's like gas that helps them go. Some also store fuel in the body of the plane and even in the tail. Many airplane words are borrowed from old sailing ships. Cockpit meant the place for the person who steered the ship, who was called the coxswain. And now we call them on airplanes the captain. Airplanes have windshields just like cars. The windshield on a Boeing 777 is 1 inch thick in case a bird hits it during the flight. Aluminum is used to build planes because it's so light and strong, and it's also the same metal used to make soda cans. I think it's probably a little sturdier. Most airplanes have 2 wings, but some have even more. The fuselage is the body of an airplane. It comes from the French word meaning spindle-shaped. A spindle is if you've ever read Sleeping Beauty, a spindle is part of a spinning wheel and it helps spin thread. And if you can see this picture, it looks quite a bit like the body of an airplane. And we already learned this, but lavatory is another word for restroom. When you fly in an airplane, the stars don't twinkle like they do when you're looking at them from the ground. The twinkling is actually caused by the air above you. So when you're in the air, you don't get to see the twinkling. And last but not least, here's your own little plate of gears and airplane pieces. So I hope you learned something on how to eat an airplane, but I also hope you don't try to be like Michel Lotito and start eating airplanes and clocks and watches and tires and all of that. Hope you have a good dinner tonight, and I will see you tomorrow for another Nighttime with Nina. Good night.